Okay, lovely people. So just to finish up then, so there is so much brilliant work here. So there is nothing wrong with this. And the problem with editing and revising, we come at it with the negative mindset, like we've done something wrong. That's not what editing and revising is. Editing and revising is about pinpointing what's missing and what's the site of our next upgrade. In other words, we can identify what's missing in a particular area or the site of our next upgrade. It literally means that we go up a grade potentially. It grades up. It gives us more marks on a mark scheme. It accesses something higher than we're already at. Okay, so this is a really strong paragraph. And again, like I said, it's made me smile. And I would just like to say at this point, there are some other wonderful speeches, particularly just even today. I've been sent some amazing work by Imogen Webb, Austin Evely. Historically, I've had some really good stuff from Seth Twynham. So this isn't about only picking one person who's doing a really good job, but because I'd seen this before, I was able to ask Holly for her permission to use her work. So again, I'm not meaning to downplay other people's work, but this was a really nice example. So all you do when you edit is you look for your basic errors, okay? Now, the problem some people say is, well, particularly say with spelling, well, miss, maybe I've made that mistake because I don't know how to spell it. It might be something that is an area for me that's hard. So that's where you could ask a second person, proof editing, a second pair of eyes. That's where it's better that you might spot one misspelling rather than getting them all. It's still an upgrade to see that you're missing a letter or something in one word at least. Capitalization, just remind yourselves of the rules. Capitals should be being used at the beginning of sentences or for proper names and titles. So, and the singular pronoun I. So we want to make sure we're using our capitals correctly. Now, remember, some people do use some random capitals within words or within sentences. That's one thing we need to edit and be careful of. Now, again, punctuation. Just make sure that your fundamentals are in place, that every sentence has a full stop, a question mark or an exclamation to demarcate the end. But potentially, are you using punctuation within sentences? Now, because this is working at this stage as a speech, we'll eventually learn these speeches. Okay, you could argue that punctuation actually might be something that you're more aware of when you practice the process next week of delivery and memorization. Because actually, punctuation is designed to do in our writing what we naturally do when we speak. When we speak, we create moments of pause. See what I did there? Our tone changes to indicate a question. We tend to go up at the end of a statement to make it sound like if it's a question. So when we speak, there are loads of natural cues. In other words, things we do really naturally when we speak that cue other people into whether a sentence has come to, whether we've come to the end of an idea, where the pauses might be for emphasis. When we write, punctuation marks have kind of evolved to show in our writing that which we naturally do in our speech. So actually, when you're editing for your punctuation, it might be that you are more aware of that process when you practice delivering your speeches next week. And one of the best benchmarks I would say is if you're reading a sentence and you're getting exhausted or tongue-tied, punctuation needs to be introduced to create moments of pause and control. So what I mean by changing the future for younger sportswomen includes showing it on TV, them getting better sponsors and promoting their games just as much as men's. So there could be some room for punctuation within that sentence. Okay, so I can see actually, I think I've cut off a comma just after TV. A semicolon would create a longer pause, which includes showing it on TV, them getting better sponsors and promoting their games just as much as men's. So there are ways that we can check for punctuation when we speak, but there are just rules as well. So often one area of errors with punctuation might be your use of apostrophes, particularly in contractions when you're joining two words together. So editing is looking at your capitals, your punctuation and your spelling. So I was just showing with the little circles that Holly might want to look at the spelling of changing and similarly for amount. Okay, now it's better to edit and upgrade 2 elements rather than nothing. And it doesn't matter if you don't get everything, but it shows awareness, okay? So revision is different. So revision is thinking within a sentence, is there a particular order of words that would be better or a word choice? So if we're looking at this bit, I've put the rectangular around, showing on TV, them getting better sponsors. Now, actually, what we want to do really is invert that. So we might want to say, showing on TV, getting better sponsors for them. So sometimes it can be about the order of words, okay? And promoting their games just as much as men's. Now, if you wanted, you could say, and promoting their games. Now, the just as much as men's is making a comparison between men and women, but actually is it making that sentence less cohesive, less punchy, less powerful? So when you're thinking about revising, it's really giving yourself within each sentence, at least within each paragraph, the ability to say, could I make a better word choice? And similarly, the last little sentence leading into the question, then women don't get more injuries than men because they know they will get the same. So I would just look for some clarity there, okay? And just look at that sentence and see, is there a way that I could use a better word choice, okay? Is there something that I would think about the structure? So that's editing and revising, okay? Looking at what you've written and creating and making those changes, those upgrades. Okay, guys, so your success looks like a complete speech, okay, is the simple answer. And ideally, success is going to look like a speech that has at least, counting my colours, 6 sections, a character section, a setting, a rising action, a climax, a falling action, and an ending. So we're looking for at least 6 sections, 6 paragraphs. Within those paragraphs, we are looking for you to achieve each of the things laid out here, that you have an ending that's really clear what you want your audience to do, that in the falling action, like we saw with Holly's lovely paragraph, that there's a clear shift in tone, identifying things that we can do, what can be achieved when we change. So you have got the rest of today, you have got time now to invest in this speech, okay? And I'm going to make it really clear when we're back together on Monday where those speeches go to and what we do in terms of memorization and practice of delivery, okay? Guys, there is amazing work out there. I know sometimes it feels overwhelming, and if you've been a little bit behind, you might be trying to catch up. Breathe, relax. As you'll see next week, there will be an opportunity to create, again, space if you need it for the writing of your speeches. But I'm so proud and so appreciative of all the wonderful work I've seen. You are amazing. Okay, so get speech writing, you little future spin doctors. Okay, and I really do mean it when I say I've been loving the speeches you've been sending me. They've been making me really happy. Okay, guys, I've also included a little bit on some of those paragraph structures and things from yesterday, so that I'm not talking about it. They are there. Look back over any of your notes. Take your time and just do an amazing speech. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.